Well, good morning, folks. Here we are back at cruising. Hey, look, we lost 2 wheels. Why? We decided to go motorcycles this time for you. And have we got a motorcycle for you? But first off, Clint August, how you doing, buddy?
Great, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and he's Motorcycle Monkeys, got a great YouTube page himself. You might want to check it out. He is my motorcycle guy on KUSI. I bring him down once a month, and he brings a new toy. And I actually introduced you to the Ducati PR team, and
Sure
they just
did.
love you to death. And look what they've gave you to play with.
Yes, man, they must love me because this is the 2021 Ducati Monster Plus.
Right.
And they've done some great improvements on this bike over years past.
Right.
The first being they lost 40 pounds on this machine. In large part due because the front end of the frame is aluminum.
Right.
So that, that's going to reduce the weight by quite a bit. You've got more horsepower. You've got more torque. So you're looking at 69 pounds of torque. You're looking at 111 horsepower out of 937 cc's. And this thing is so light, it's 412 or 416 pounds, fully loaded with fuel. I mean, think about what you would do if you lost me, you, whoever, took a 40-pound backpack off your back.
Oh, I know. It's amazing. Well, I've had the luxury of a long-term loan to, like I mentioned earlier, to the point where they said either give it back or we're going to send you an invoice.
Right.
Because you really become one with this bike. You know, you were saying that sometimes with your inseam being a little on the short side, you have a hard time riding some of these bikes.
Yeah.
This one fits you to a T.
And I'm surprised by it because it's a sport bike, and most of these sport bikes, they really are, they ride high. Well, this one goes from 32, I believe it's 32.2 inches off the ground, and the low profile seating and suspension kit will take you down to 30.5. I know I'm real close in the numbers there. But if you even see, if you sit on it,
Right.
you're gonna feel how this is lower. Now you do have a passenger seat. This is a cover right here.
Yeah, but
you
who
got
cares?
the pegs back there. But I don't know if I'm a passenger
No.
for what the rider's gonna wanna do on this thing if I wanna be on the back.
I'm already doing at least 90.
Right, sitting
Just-
right
just
here.
sitting here.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you sit, you grab, they must have put so much work into these handlebar designs. But again, it's all coming from motorsports and racing.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are animals on the track. But then again, if you want to use this as a commuter, you can.
You can. It's, as you notice, you're probably not leaning as far forward as you thought you were
No,
going to.
uh-uh.
And I love that the tank, you mentioned this earlier, I love that you're sitting in this bike,
Yeah,
not
on
it,
the bike.
right?
Exactly. And the reason they have everything on this bike is built for a reason. There's no frills or fanciness.
Yep.
Everything is there. Kick on the instrumentation. See, here's the thing. I'm an old motorcycle guy. None of this ever came to me.
Right.
I mean, look at all of this.
When they came out with these TFT displays, that's when the world changed, I think.
Totally.
You have everything at your fingertips here. Of course, you have what you would expect. You have your speedometer, you have your tachometer, you've got your outside air temperature, you've got your engine air temperature, you have how much gas you have left in the tank. Of course, right here you have Ducati traction control. You have ABS.
What do we all say about traction control?
Keep it on.
There you go. Even on a motorcycle, never turn that thing off.
You have Ducati wheelie control, and right here, if you just press this button, it's going to take you into your setting menu. So there's your setting menu. Then you just use this arrow right here if you want to go up or down, which I don't. I want to go into riding mode, so I'll just press that. Now your riding mode, you can choose, do you want urban, which I have it in? Do you want touring? Do you want sport? We'll go into sport, press the button again, and now you can choose your engine, your Ducati traction control, whatever, your ABS, your brakes, Ducati wheelie control. But right here for the engine, let's go through that. Look at how you can choose here. You want it on low? All right, so now you've got reduced power and a very smooth ride. Medium, you got full power with a smooth ride. High is just full power, dynamic.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, and you can, I love all of the technology on this bike in a I think it's 4.7 or 4.3 inch screen. Right here, all of this.
Yeah.
So right here you have Ducati wheelie control that's off. I'm in urban mode. You want to go ahead and go to first setting, which is performance. Then you have, a little bit safer, and setting 3 is a little more safe, and then 4 is, I would say, almost off, but these different levels are incredible.
But when you're saying safety, you're talking about,
Popping a wheelie.
in other words, you get a full wheelie, a 3/4 wheelie, a half a wheelie, then no wheelie.
And I would think also the chances of you pulling a wheelie. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, it's like, nope, we're not gonna mess with wheelies on this. You know what I mean? It's gonna be
Right.
harder for you to actually pull a wheelie.
Right. And you know, for folks, you might think, wow, that seems kind of difficult. You got to push it. No. Once you get this bike, and after about 2 weeks of ownership, all of this is second nature.
Well, here's your learning curve. Me. If I can do this,
You can. Anybody.
Anybody
Well,
can do
I'm
this.
the same way as you. You know, like I said, I don't like fooling around with stuff. You know, there's some things I'll turn on, some things I won't turn on. And the other thing too, and let's see if we see it on the front. Check out this headlight.
Yeah.
This headlight, when I took off from the station and you pulled out behind me, I thought, whoa, now that's a different kind of a headlight.
looks good.
Yeah, it does. And I don't know, high beam, low beam?
Yeah, yep. But here's something else since you got your hand on the grip.
Yeah.
This is set and ready for heated grips on this bike. I accidentally discovered this yesterday as I was going through the settings on the TFT display. I was playing around, in my driveway going, all right, what's this? What's that? Wait, what's this? Heated grips on a
Yeah.
Ducati? I'm like, hell yes, this is great.
But how come you don't have a heated seat?
Good question. I don't know.
But I bet you they have it. And see, if you push it down on this, you're not pushing the cushion. There's like an air bladder in here. Then you hit your cushion.
Here's the thing too, with the engine, I don't know that you need a heated seat
No,
anyway.
I
Your
know,
legs are going to
I
be
know.
warm. I know you're kidding, but chain driven, of
Yeah.
course, electronic fuel injection, Brembo brakes.
All right, now take a look at this.
Mhm.
See this little nasty scrapey stuff on here on the side here? That's how far somebody laid this bad boy over into a turn.
Wasn't me. They track tested this
Look at
before
this.
me.
It's just gnarlied up on like you would not believe. What else?
But with the 111 horsepower, 937 cc's, 69 foot-pounds of torque, and the bike weighing as little as it does,
Right.
that's where Ducati really came through for this new
Right.
Monster Plus.
What
in
kind of
2021.
range do you get on a bike like this?
That's what I was wondering. It's a 3.7 or 3.8 gallon tank. And I looked it up on the specs.
100 and a
I didn't
half.
see that. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the best you're going to do, I would think, is 100.5, and you're probably pushing it then.
But isn't that sort of the number that almost every motorcycle gets nowadays?
I mean, there are ones that get 200, even 225, 240,
But I
they
mean,
claim.
And I think the reason they stay at that number is so you can get off and stretch and walk around. Because I mean,
agree.
If you're hardcore in it or even just cruising, 150 miles on a motorcycle with the wind in your face. I mean, I know everybody loves it, but you need that break.
I agree with you. I think your gas stops are also intended, at least for me, to be a bathroom break and just to stretch your legs and
Right.
get your back right and all that kind of stuff. Now,
Yeah.
again, this is not
Get
an
your
uncomfortable
adrenaline
ride.
back into control.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another thing about a bike like this. I've noticed when I have these for more than a few days, and I have this one for about a week, toward the end of the time I've got it, I really want to get stupid, and
I
I've got to
know.
remind myself, hey,
What
you
did I
got a
tell
wife,
you?
you got kids.
What did I tell you? First time you get on it, it scares the hell out of you. Then you get comfortable, and then you crash. And the reason you do is because now you're invincible.
Right.
And you and this bike can do anything we wanted to do.
Yeah.
But you always got to, and these bikes are so easy to ride. The transmission is butter smooth.
Oh, yeah.
6-speed?
It is a 6-speed.
Yeah.
And
Butter smooth.
in fact, it has Ducati Quick Shift. I'm glad you mentioned that. I almost forgot to mention that. Ducati Quick Shift. You can, if you need to, you can shift without the clutch.
Yeah.
I prefer not to do that. I did it on a previous Ducati, actually the Multistrada, which
make
is
a
their
lot of
adventure bike.
grindy noise?
No, it was perfect. But
Yeah.
because it's not my bike,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so freaked out to do anything that might harm their bike. Here's another thing with this thing. At least I'm going to admit this for myself. There is a vision that I have of myself, what I envision myself to look like on this bike. I feel like I'm Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt. But then I look in the mirror and I realize I'm a fat dude
On a little
on
bike.
a nice bike.
On a little
Yeah.
motorcycle. Well, and the thing of it is, disc brakes, front and rear, the iconic red stripe through the rear rim.
Yep.
There's a lot of Ducati flavors on this bike. You've got your Italian, insignia right up here off the Ducati.
Yep.
That harkens back to the fact that it is an Italian motorcycle.
They're beautiful.
They are. There's-
Ducati, a couple things about Ducati. It's a high-end product.
Yeah.
But for $12,000 and change for the
I
Monster
know.
Plus, it's only a few hundred more than the standard Monster.
Right.
And it's not that much different, to be quite honest with you. But here's the deal. For $12,000, I think it's $200 plus your fees and licensing. I think this is worth every penny.
Oh, I know. This is a bike you can just commute to work, and then on the weekends, run up to Willow Springs, and if you got the talent, you could walk away with a trophy.
Right? That's true. And a 2-year warranty, unlimited mileage, comes pretty standard with these. I really think this is a winner. I think Ducati really improved this, especially shaving that 40 pounds off of this with more power.
I was totally shocked.
Yeah.
And it will kind of, and by the way, it is water cooled. It's not an air cooled bike, which really allows you to take this bike out in almost any kind of weather. You know, I'm a real strange guy when it comes to air cooled bikes. If it's over 80 or 90 degrees, I won't take it out because
Well, you can harm the motor if you sit
it's
too long.
just too hot. It's just too hot.
Well, against your legs, yeah.
Well, not even that. I just don't want to hurt the bike, you know?
Hey, I rode through the desert on my 2000 Road King Classic at 111 degrees to Vegas one year. And remember, that's air cooled. And even though I'm doing like 70, 80 miles an hour, I felt like I was riding through a hairdryer. We pulled over to gas, and I had ice cold water in my saddlebag in a cooler with ice. I took that thing out, I put it on my mount. I specifically mounted it for Vegas. And within about 5 to 10 minutes, it was hot water.
Sure it was.
So this, to your point, makes a big difference that it's water cooled.
Yeah. I know, and you know, it's say what you want, but everything is special metals, you know, and there again, what this is made out of, it's an alloy, it looks like. Again, it adds to the lack of the weight.
It does.
So if you're into two up and you want to have some fun, and no, you're not getting me on the back seat. And you can put a back seat on this.
You can. This is a cover. I'd pay money to put you on the back seat.
No, you ain't got that kind of money, brother. Can you imagine? I don't even think my legs would bend that high up. My knees would be in my chest.
We'd be like Dorf on golf.
Yeah. Now, if you get
that
little,
references that Carol Burnett.
Yeah, that little 21-year-old girl sitting back here, that I can see.
Yep.
Me, no. All right. Well, hey, folks, that's cruising. Two-wheel type of cruising. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and while you're on YouTube, what's your page?
Motorcycle Monkey channel. Please give it a like, and even if you click the bell icon in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, it'll tell you when new videos come out.
There you go. I understand you do radio.
Yes, 101.5 KGB, afternoons here in San Diego, Monday through Friday, and it's got a 45-year station.
Wow.
Classic rock.
Thanks a lot, Clint. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me, man.
We'll do another. We'll do motorcycles again.
I'm in.
I knew. You can do it. All right, folks. That's cruising. See you down the road.